All right, now I'm in business. Okay, mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check. Can you hear me? All right, I think I'm good now. All right, I had a little bit of a technical issue. I think I still do with my microphone. Can you guys hear me? What's going on here, man? I'm trying to get this whole thing correct, and it isn't working. Something's going on with my microphone. What the hell? So you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to use my internal mic. That's what I'll have to use because this just isn't working. Because this isn't working. So all right, I'll just use and then I'll get this figured out when it's necessary. Because this clearly isn't working. So all right. Anyway, excuse me. Now, what's up, guys? How y'all doing tonight? I am here. I'm an hour late. I had some running around to do, and I didn't. Kind of got thrown off the track a little bit, but I'm in effect. I am, and I'm here to talk a little bit of basketball tonight. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk some hoops. Let's discuss some matchups. Let's discuss last night and the idea that the Minnesota Timberwolves have now extended this series. Yes, they have. 100% they have extended this series. They have made this thing. It's I'm on record. I'm saying it. Right? I'm on record saying it that excuse me. I'm on record saying it. We have an issue right now. I want to make sure that I'm clear where we are with this Minnesota Dallas series. Dallas is still 100% control in this series. They got 3 games to win 1. All the heat. Not some of the heat, not most of the heat. All of the heat. All of the heat is on Minnesota Timberwolves. Every game that they play from here on out is an elimination game. Every last one of these games. So, with that being said, there is no reason to panic. We have an issue right now. That's all it is. And the issue is Luka has to play better. He's got to shoot the basketball better. I thought Minnesota did a good job with Anthony Edwards staying in front of Luka for as long as he possibly could. Staying in front of him for as long as he possibly could. He had some mishaps. Luka getting down the lane. There was a play in the I believe it was the third quarter where Luka basically he gave Anthony Edwards a spin move and walked right to the basket. Just walked right to the basket. So with that being said, right? With that being said, there was a couple of mismatches. A couple of mishaps. I didn't particularly love Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie Irving. When I first heard it, I was thinking, no, I don't like it. I don't like it because I'm thinking about a rangier, more physical defender than, even though Jaden McDaniels he's got a lot of length, a lot of range to him. I felt like a more physical defender would be more suited for Kyrie Irving. And turns out I was wrong with that, right? Turns out I was completely wrong with that because Jaden McDaniels did a good job in disrupting Kyrie Irving's rhythm. So when you got a 6'9" guy that's damn good at standing in front of a guy and keeping him off balance, that's a recipe for success. I didn't like it initially because I'm thinking, one, he might be a little too tall. Irv is going to put him in a blender. Only except that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. In fact, it actually looked like we should have been doing this from the beginning. Ox is the one who who put this on my mind, and I really wasn't a fan of it initially. I was thinking, no, I actually like Anthony Edwards dealing with. I actually like Anthony Edwards dealing with Kyrie Irving. Only problem is Anthony Edwards isn't that good of an off-ball defender. Not yet. He has a tendency to fall asleep when he's playing off the ball. Kyrie Irving, in that offense that they play in Dallas, he's doing a lot of moving without the ball. Jaden McDaniels can cover a lot more ground, right? Jaden McDaniels covers a lot more ground. So the fact that Jaden McDaniels covers more ground, Kyrie Irving moving without the ball isn't that big of a deal. No, it's not that big of a deal. So the biggest part of that is disrupting Kyrie Irving's rhythm. And like all great scorers, Kyrie Irving will figure it out, but he may not. He may not. Right? He may not. I've always had a difficult time listening to. I've always had a difficult time listening to guys talk about, you really can't do nothing with a scorer. Because I've seen scorers slow down. I have. I've seen great scorers get slowed down. Not necessarily shut down, but I've seen them get slowed down. Like I saw Jordan get slowed down in the 89 East Finals. I saw that. I saw Magic as a scorer get slowed down in the finals, in the playoffs. You can slow a scorer down. It isn't ridiculous to think that you just got to let a scorer be a scorer. I ain't saying that you're going to stop them, but you can slow a scorer down. And one way to slow a scorer down universally, keep the ball away from them. Keep the ball away from them. Throw off their rhythm. That is one way to universally slow down a scorer. When he gets off the peel, keep him off the peel. Disrupt his rhythm, because that's how scorers live. They live in rhythm, whether it's with the ball, whether it's their shot, all of that coincides. So when you disrupt that stuff, you disrupt them. Being a little bit more physical with them. And I understand that today, the rules of today's game make it a lot more difficult. Make it a lot more difficult to slow guys down. What up, Z? Syracuse is in the house. Word. Make it a lot more difficult to slow guys down. You can't put hands on guys as much. You can still be physical with them, but not as much. You can't put hands on guys, right? So stuff like that can alter a defender, but that's where you have to be smarter, because I don't have to put hands on you, but what I do have to do is I do have to stay in front of you, right? I do have to stay in front of you. And how do I stay in front of you? Anticipation, guessing. And a lot of guys will tell you that, good. It's just good defense. No, a lot of these dudes, a lot of them, they guess. Yeah, a lot of them guess. No doubt about it. Scottie Pippen guessed a lot. Jordan guessed a lot. Gary Payton guessed a lot. Kawhi Leonard guesses a lot. He guesses a lot. LeBron James guesses a lot. Yeah, that's what anticipation is. And sure, it comes from watching film and watching what guys' tendencies are. But you guess that he's going to do something. And when he does it, you were right. So with that being said, Jaden McDaniels, he had great anticipation last night. Sure, I won't argue that. Great anticipation. And he disrupted Kyrie Irving's rhythm. I'm not particularly in love with him closing out on the low side, because I don't like Kyrie Irving getting to that weak hand. I don't. I don't like Kyrie Irving getting to that weak hand. And the reason why I don't like him getting to that weak hand is because he's, one, just as good with that weak hand as he is with that strong hand. He's just as good with it. On top of that, I'd much rather deter him into the defense. So if he's going right, I got Rudy Gobert at the rim. I have Cat positioning to rebound. So I can deter him going right, or I can deter him shooting a fall away going right. You know, I'm a lot more comfortable with that than him going to his weak hand because he's so good dribbling with his weak hand. Whether he's pulling up or getting to the rim, he's so damn good with his weak hand. I got a super chat really quickly that I got to read. And this super chat says the 87 Lakers didn't face no comp in the West, but mad about the Celtics 2024 team first round Nuggets, second round Warriors, conference finals Supersonics. Y'all won't care about easy. I've been said that. Yep. Preaching to the choir, brother. Preaching to the choir. That is not news. For those that don't know, the Lakers in 87 only played one team. That's it. One team over 500 in the playoffs. That's it. But if I let y'all tell it, if I let you dudes tell it, you know, the Eastern Conference is weak. You know, these dudes got a cakewalk to the finals. We wasn't saying that. We wasn't saying that in the 80s when Magic, when they played Phoenix in the first round, they was 6 games under 500. We wasn't saying that. Right? We wasn't saying that in 88 when they played San Antonio. Dudes was 20 games under 500. We didn't say that then. We didn't. And them dudes was, we didn't say that in 81 when teams got a first round bye. We didn't say that then. The best team in the Western Conference, the best team in the Eastern Conference, didn't have to play in the first round. They didn't even have to play in the first round. So I recognize that there's always going to be some sort of narrative about. There's always going to be some narrative about a team's tough road. But even when a team has a tough road, there's always going to be some nonsense. Like the Cavs in 16, they didn't have a tough road, but they beat the Warriors who won 73 games. It wasn't that the Cavs was that good. The Warriors choked. That's what that was. I have a difficult time with that sort of stuff. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. What I do know is watching this Dallas Mavericks team, I'm not losing my mind. I'm not like, Dallas is still in complete control of this series until they're not. They got 3 games to win one, and they got one of those 3 games on their home floor. So they still have an opportunity to end this. All the heat's on Minnesota. All of it. All the heat's on Minnesota. And with that being said, they are the ones who have to ball and have to play every night. They don't have to play every other night or every third night. They got to play every night. Every night. So I think that I think that we're looking at. I think the series is still over tomorrow night. But if I'm telling you what it really is, so they won last night. They have an issue. Sure. Dallas has an issue. If Dallas loses tomorrow night, we have ourselves a situation. If they lose Saturday, we have a problem, a huge problem. And I got to thinking about this earlier today, and I had asked, and I talked myself out of it because I think it's nonsense. Did Minnesota spot these dudes 3 games? Did Minnesota spot these dudes 3 games and go, all right, we'll catch up with you? Right? Did Minnesota spot these dudes 3 games? That's right. This is the brother that has Kobe Bryant 11th all time, and you're probably the dude that got him 3. So give me a break, man. I don't care about that. You Kobe Bryant stands, you make me sick. I swear. You dudes can't never really talk basketball. You 15 or 19-year-olds who wasn't even around when he was playing. I was around when he was playing. I was here when he was playing. And I got legit logic. And by the way, I'm so sick of talking about this Kobe Bryant thing. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm tired of it. You think you got me? I tell you what, I got you even better. Bye. Get your ass out of here. Beat it, goofy. Yep. You think you got me? I got you even better. Beat it, goofy. How about that? Now, Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So anyway, if they lose, right? If they lose Thursday, we have ourselves a situation because now we're building momentum, right? Now we're building momentum. And with building momentum, that's not a good thing for the other team. That's not good. That's not a good thing for them. So if they're going to win this series, I still feel like Dallas, once again, Dallas is in complete control. Dallas is in complete control of this series, 100%. But they have to win tomorrow night. Because if this thing comes back to Dallas for game 6, I don't love it. I don't. I don't love it. No, I do not. I now look at this thing like, did they really spot these dudes? 3 games? Because if they lose tomorrow night, if they lose tomorrow night and we go back to Dallas for game 6, Dallas is still in control of the series. Mind you, Minnesota's still facing elimination every game. The temperature gets turned up a little bit higher. Guys have a tendency when they now hear them footsteps, here this team comes, and some guys have a tendency to cheese up a little bit. But I don't think we get there. I think this thing is over tomorrow night. I do. I think this thing is over tomorrow night, and I think we got Dallas in the Celtics a week from tomorrow in the NBA Finals. That's what I think happens. And I'm looking forward to it because the NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics, I think it's going to settle a lot of things. Now, there are some people who it's not going to settle anything for them. And the reason why it's not going to settle anything for them, because they already got their mind made up. They already got their mind made up about Luka. They already got their mind made up about Kyrie Irving. They already got their mind made up about all of this stuff. I never felt like Steph Curry was a better player than LeBron James. When he won the league MVP in 15 and then won it again in 16, and then they made it to the NBA Finals, had he outplayed James in that Finals, my thought process would have had to change. My thought process would have had to change because he would have done the exact same thing that Giannis did, that Joker did, that Bryant did, that Duncan did, which is how I view these guys as the best player in the world. So if Steph Curry wins the league MVP in back-to-back seasons, like he did, his team gets to the NBA championship, like they did, he ends up outplaying LeBron James in the NBA Finals, and they win the NBA championship. How can I not say he ain't the best player on the planet? How? All the stuff necessary leading up to that, he did it. All of it. So the same logic, right? I feel like the same logic happens in this series where the Dallas Mavericks, Luka has played at a high level. Luka has played at an MVP level. Even I think he's finished in the top 10 or top 8 in league MVP votes. Jason Tatum, on the other hand, in the last 3 years, he's finished 6, 4, 6. So he's playing, he's right outside the top 5 on average in MVP votes. So he's playing at that level. And then there's this conversation between Luka and Jason Tatum. There's some of you that won't have it, and that's fine. There are some of you who will not have the conversation between Luka and Jason Tatum. I take no issue with that. That's why, for you, there aren't things that are going to be settled for you. Me, on the other hand, because I feel like the gap closed tremendously over the last 2 years. over the last 2 years, we've had a significant close in the gap between Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. So a lot of people talk about how the Dallas Mavericks, if they win the NBA championship, is Luka the best player in the world. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far, but I can say he's definitely in that conversation, considering what Giannis has done over the last 2 years, considering what Joker has done over the last 2 years, and the fact that Luka has played at that level. So I can flip that around and ask the same question. If the Boston Celtics win the NBA championship, right? If the Boston Celtics win the NBA championship, how does Jason Tatum get viewed? You can't, especially if he ends up balling out in the NBA Finals, especially if he ends up playing at a high level in the NBA Finals. How would you talk about him? Because I can tell you what you can't do. You can't talk about him the same as you did 2 years ago. You can't do that. You can't tell me, yo, he was on a bomb squad, or the Celtics had this. No, you can't do that, especially if he played better than what he played 2 years ago. And he's a large reason, if not the best player in this series. He was very close to being the best player in this series. Very much like what Steph Curry was in 15, where, I mean, James was the best player in that series. I won't argue that. I won't argue that. But Curry played at that level where he was, I feel like there was a gap between him and James, but it was James, then Curry. Even though Iguodala won the Finals MVP, I still feel like Curry played at that level. So if Jason Tatum were to play at that level where he's the best player in the series, there's questions or whether or not he's the best player in the series. What's the conversation about him? How do we talk about him? Is he now bona fide top 5 player in the world? And I've had conversations with guys like my man Mars, who tells me that there's no way you see Jason Tatum and Joel Embiid and say that Joel Embiid is not better at basketball than Jason Tatum. I ain't buying that. No. Because there's so many other factors that go into, right? There's so many other factors that go into being that. I already think he's a top 5 player. I already think that. Even though, as good as Anthony Davis is, as a basketball player, but when it matters, right? When it matters. No doubt about that. And BD, that logic doesn't work with me. Is he even going to start on Team USA? Dwayne Wade didn't start on Team USA in 2008. Don't give me that. I'm not trying to hear that logic. No, I'm not trying to hear that. Dwayne Wade did not start on Team USA in 2008. He didn't. And he was definitely one of their best players. So don't hand me that bullshit. Like, if he doesn't start on Team USA, that's a knock on him. James is starting at a legacy. KD is also starting at a legacy. It ain't because KD is better, I don't think. No, I'm not buying that. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going off of what I'm going off of is what I'm going off of is getting to the NBA championship. Not only getting to the NBA championship, performing at a high level. And I'm on record saying this, that, okay, you can't see the same dude that I saw 2 years ago. I can't. And I don't think I will. The example that I brought up earlier today when I was talking to the fellas, the example that I brought up earlier today was in the 2010 NBA Finals, when Pau Gasol made it clear that I don't know what's going to happen in this series. I don't know whether or not we're going to win it, whether or not we're going to lose it, whether or not they're going to win it, whether or not they're going to lose it. Kevin Garnett, you ain't busting my ass again like you did 2 years ago. No, that's not happening. No, you ain't kicking my ass like you did 2 years ago. You're not doing that. Nope, you're not. So if that's what your plan is, you got to come up with something else, because you're not going to see. And the reason why you're not going to do that, because you're not going to see the same dude that you saw 2 years ago standing in front of you. It's a different dude standing in front of you. And that's what I think the difference is with Jason Tatum this coming NBA Finals. I can't see the same dude. I can't. I got to see somebody different. And if I don't see somebody different, I got to talk about you different. if I don't see somebody different, if I still see the same guy, which by the way, Jason Tatum plays a lot like he did. If you go look at old film of Jason Tatum, like in high school and in college, he has somewhat of the same game. There isn't much more to his game. He still plays in the mid range. He still shoots the long ball. He still does all of that stuff. It's just now he does it at a higher level. It's kind of like I remember Jason Kidd, who when Jason Kidd got to the league, I remember when Jason Kidd got to the league, I remember seeing him in high school because he's around my age. We're the same age. And I remember seeing him and saying, when he got to the pros, everybody was so flabbergasted about what he was doing. I was like, he was doing the same thing in high school. He did the same thing at Cal. The same thing. He was bigger, faster, stronger, smarter than all of those guys. When he got to the NBA, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. The exact same thing. So because of that, because it was the same thing, I'm thinking, I'm not surprised that he's playing at this level because he dominated at both of those levels. Now, getting Kristaps Porzingis back, is a big deal. Let me tell you, it is. And for the record, next Thursday will be 5 weeks since he last played, because today marks 30 days since he got hurt in that Miami series. That was a month ago. Exactly 1 month ago to the day today. Exactly a month ago. So, with that being said, I don't really. There are two injuries that I'm not particularly fond of. I don't like when I hear anything about the heart. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like playing with that. And I don't like any kind of calf strain or Achilles. I don't like any of that. I can handle all the other stuff. Knee injuries, MCS, stuff like that. I can handle that stuff. Calf strains, Achilles strains, which both live in the same neighborhood, and anything with the heart, I don't like hearing that. I don't. I do not like hearing that. I don't. No. When I hear stuff like that, that stuff makes me very nervous. Very, very nervous. So it's been a month today since Porzingis. It's been a month today since Porzingis last played against Miami. And it's going to be good to get him back. 100%. It's going to be damn good to get him back because they need him. Yes, they 100% need him, especially for this series, because I think Derek Lively's going to be back. Yeah. I think I'm not sure if Derek Lively's going to be back tomorrow, but after Dallas handles Minnesota, he'll be back. Yeah, he'll be. I saw him wincing yesterday on the bench. That neck injury is pretty significant. It is. It definitely is. You got a difficult time sleeping, and like I hear people saying stuff like, Cat was dirty. He wasn't. Let's knock it off. No, he was not. No, he wasn't. He wasn't dirty. It was inadvertent. He didn't even see him, and it just happened. Malik, give me a break already. You already think that Jaylen Brown is better than him anyway. To say something just by hearing you say if he completely outplays him, you still on 2022. Did he completely outplay him in the Eastern Conference Finals? Did he completely outplay him these playoffs? I'm asking you specifically, Malik Johnson, because you want to be a part of the show. So let me talk to you. Do you think he completely outplayed Jason Tatum these playoffs? No, it's not just a question. No, you said it loud enough. When you say completely outplay him, completely? So that means that he's not even a factor. There is no question that Jason Tatum is being outplayed by Jaylen Brown. How likely is that? The likeliness of that means that I'm seeing the same dude that I saw 2 years ago. That's what that means. If Jaylen Brown were to, in your estimation, completely outplay Jason Tatum, that means that I see the same dude from 2 years ago. That's what that means. It's either that or Jaylen Brown has played at a level that we have never seen him play at. That's what that means. One of two things is going on. Either Jaylen Brown has played at a level that we've never seen him play at, or Jason Tatum is the same dude from 2 years ago. That's what that means. There is no in-betweens with that. Because to say completely outplay him, that means that Jason Tatum was not even a factor. That means that he wasn't involved in anything. That means that he had nothing to do with any of this stuff. To say he completely outplayed him, that means that you weren't involved in any of the stuff that we were doing. Completely, that means that it's not a question whether or not I was the best player out here. It wasn't even a question. That means that I saw the same dude from 2 years ago. Or Jaylen Brown plays at a level. Jaylen Brown plays at a level that we have never seen before. Even if Jason Tatum were to play at a high level, for Jaylen Brown to completely outplay him, to completely outplay him, you have to. I have to believe that that's the, even if I haven't seen anything yet, right? But the idea that he completely outplayed him, that has to mean that the same dude from 2 years ago, that's the same dude. Because I can't see it any other way. All I'm saying is I can't see it any other way. If this dude gets complete, when you think about guys, I'm trying to think of guys getting completely outplayed. Like, for example, Olajuwon completely outplayed David Robinson in '95 in the West Finals. Completely outplayed him. It wasn't a question of whether or not he was the guy. Completely outplayed him. James completely outplayed Kevin Durant in the finals in 12. Completely outplayed him. No questions asked. The Detroit Pistons completely outplayed the Lakers in 04. It wasn't a question. And when you get to that point where you're completely and utterly outplaying somebody, that means that that other person was not even a factor. And if that person isn't a factor, or that team isn't a factor, that means that they shouldn't even be here. I don't see it any other way. Because when you completely outplay somebody, that means you dominate them. It wasn't a question of whether or not I was better. It wasn't a question of whether or not we were better. It was just over. You got completely outplayed. And for that to happen, and for me to see that again, because I feel like Jaylen Brown completely outplayed Jason Tatum in the finals in 22. I don't think he outplayed Jason Tatum in the finals. I think he completely outplayed him in the finals in 2022. I don't think it was a question. To see that again, that means that I'm looking at the same dude. That means I'm looking at the same dude. I have to be looking at the same dude. No doubt. No doubt. You don't get to ask me any questions, Dale, you bozo. You don't get to ask me any questions because I don't even know you, and you come into my live calling me a clown, and you're probably you're probably one of these whatever they call. So I'm not answering no questions from you. No questions from you. No, I'm not. Mm-mm. But to get outplayed, to get completely outplayed, right? To get completely outplayed, that means you weren't a factor. So if you're not a factor at all, right? If you're not a factor at all, Kevin Durant scored better. I won't argue that. Kevin Durant scored, but he averaged 30 a game in that series. I think James outplayed him though, completely. Overall, as a player, I think he completely outplayed KD. I think he did more than KD. 100%. I believe that he did more. The fact that KD was 30 a game, The fact that KD was 30 a game, I won't argue that. But the other stuff, I think James did more than him. 100%, I believe he did more than him and outplayed him. Just like Magic, just like Jordan completely outplayed Magic in 91. Just like Bryant completely outplayed whomever, or Shaq completely outplayed Mutombo in 2001 in the finals. And Bryant completely outplayed San Antonio in 2001 when they smoked them dudes. Completely outplayed them. Completely. So, with that being said, I'll be interested to see how. I'll be interested to see how. I'll be interested to see how Jason Tatum comes into the series. I'll be interested to see how Drew Holiday comes into this series. That's exactly what I think it is, right? When you do more and you're more effective, you outplay guys. Just because you outscored me does not mean that you outplayed me. No, that does not mean that. I had a bigger effect on the game. I did more than you did. That doesn't mean that I'm a better player than you. I just outplayed you because I did more. I had more of an effect on the game than you did. You were a bucket getter. I won't argue that. Sure. You may have outscored me just because the guy averaged 28 a game and I averaged 19 or I averaged 22. That doesn't mean you outplayed me. No, it doesn't. You were a bucket getter. But if I affected the game more than you did on both ends of the floor, like I think James did in that series, he outplayed Kevin Durant. He outplayed him. So I think Drew Holiday, I think Drew Holiday is going to be a huge factor in this series. Huge. So him having the assignment, him having the assignment of having to deal with Luka, Kyrie Irving, that's going to be a big deal because I seen Drew Holiday do it at the highest level. It's crazy when I actually had this conversation earlier today. It's interesting when, it's absolutely Andre. Dirk completely outplayed Garnett in 2003. And Garnett completely outplayed Gasol in 08 in the finals. 100%. You absolutely. Now, the point that I was making was, I think it's interesting how a guy can go from, or you can see a team, right? You see a team that they have pieces, and then they take this one piece out and put this piece in, and immediately when you see it, you go, that's what they needed right there. A prime example is the 21 Bucks. When they take out Eric Bledsoe and they put in Drew Holiday. And I'm looking at that crew going, that's what they needed right there. That's the difference. That guy is better than that guy. And he fits. Because mind you, I'm not an advocate of just because you're a better player, it means this is going to work. No. No. It has to work because you fit with what we're doing. And I saw Drew Holiday, and I'm thinking he does everything Eric Bledsoe does, set better. He works for this unit. This works. Immediately when I saw that, I'm thinking, yep, they're better. That guy is better than that guy. This guy works better for this crew than that guy does. He does. To think that Jason Tatum needs a mid-range game, you don't watch him, Modest. You don't. He does have a mid-range game. But anyway, when I watched Drew Holiday shut the door or slow Chris Paul down in the finals and ultimately slow down that offense. Ultimately slow down that offense. That was the difference in them winning. That was the difference in them winning. Because Phoenix was one of the fastest paced offenses in the league. For Drew Holiday to now pick up full court, to pick up 75 feet when they missed the shot, He's not running back on defense. He's finding Chris Paul in transition immediately, making Chris Paul get off the ball. And you're not nearly as effective. You're not nearly as effective when Chris Paul throws it ahead to you as opposed to when he's making plays for you. Johnson, Book, Mikal Bridges. Those guys aren't as good as Book is. He's even more effective when Chris Paul was making plays for him, making him a better scorer. So I feel like in this series, both him and Derek White, they have to do a damn good job slowing down Kyrie Irving, slowing down Luka. Like Luka got slowed down yesterday. 100% he did. He got slowed down yesterday. So Kyrie Irving got slowed down yesterday. I think that was largely due to Jaden McDaniels, but he got slowed down yesterday. It happens. It does. I don't subscribe to this logic that scorers can't get slowed down, because I've seen scorers get slowed down. I've seen them get slowed down. Yes, I have. And the idea that so Drew Holiday can't do anything with Kyrie Irving, so nobody can do anything with Kyrie Irving. Nobody. That's interesting. So if that's the case, then why hasn't he been better in the playoffs in years past? I mean, I saw him in 2017. He got busy against Steph Curry. I can't remember, with the exception of James, I can't remember seeing a guy looking at Steph Curry going, "This dude got nothing for me." Him. This dude has nothing for me. This dude right here. This dude. Hell yeah, Modest. I don't know if you remember 2004. They lost in 5 games. Games 3, 4, and 5. Bryant, 17, 3, and 2. Yeah, he got slowed down. Yes, sir. It wasn't just because he was missing shots. He got slowed down. The Detroit Pistons pushed them away from the basket, including him. Tayshaun Prince did a great job in keeping the ball away from him, forcing him into bad shots. That absolutely happened. 100% that happened. For you to think that that didn't happen, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I don't. But I want to talk to you guys. That's what I want to do. I want to talk to you guys. I want to check your temperature. I want to know what's on your mind. How do you slow down a scorer? How can they neutralize Kyrie Irving? How can they slow him down? How can they slow down Luka? How can they do that? How can they make Luka less effective? Can we make Luka less effective by making him do more? Can we do that? I wonder if we can do that. If we made Luka do more. So if you just looked at the box score last night, right? If you just looked at the box score, you would think Luka got busy. 28, 15, and 10? Luka got busy. No, he didn't. No, he did not. He didn't. Nope. That's just not true. He did not get busy. So, with that being said, how can Minnesota continue to neutralize these guys? And how can the Boston Celtics slow these dudes down? I think Drew Holiday and Derek White, I think those two guys are the difference in this series. I already know what I'm going to get. I don't think I'm going to see the same guy in Jason Tatum that I saw 2 years ago. I think I'm going to see a different dude. I do. I think I'm going to see a way different dude. Way different. Not even close to the same dude that I saw 2 years ago. I think I'm going to see a different dude than I saw 2 years ago. I have to. And if I don't, to dude who brought it up earlier, I think Malik is his name. Him, we talk about if Jaylen Brown completely outplays him, that tells me that I'm looking at the same dude. I got to be looking at the same dude. So I got to see something different. I have to. What up?
What up, Chill?
What up?
What you got going on, man?
What up, brother?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. I think I'm trying to figure out what's up with Derek Lively, man. Is he gonna come back for Game 5 or what's going on? Because I honestly think if Derek Lively don't play, I don't think he's gonna play Game 5. So I think we're gonna beat them Game 5. He's gonna probably come back Game 6, and they're gonna probably end it in 6.
That neck injury is a lot. Is a lot more. Is a lot more than what they're telling us.
Yeah,
it's a lot more than what they're telling us.
Yeah, I like what Coach Finch did, putting Ant on Luka and putting Jaden on Kyrie.
That was a good adjustment. That was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to figure out how do you counter that?
Well, they got to get more action. Kyrie Irving got to move more. Ant is really good on the ball as a defender. So the way you counter that is maybe getting the ball out of Luka's hands.
Yeah.
And putting and not just getting the ball out of Luka's hands, getting the ball out of Luka's hands and making Anthony Edwards an off-ball defender.
Yeah, because honestly, man, he's one of the worst off-ball defenders I've ever seen in my life. For him to be that good,
yeah,
he is trash. And then also, man, what throws me off with Ant, again, even though he's only 22, man, his decision-making, man.
Yeah.
His decision-making is so goddamn trash, man. It don't even make no sense, man. You know, I watched every one of his games, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't know. And then Cat, man. Since Cat comes in the league, been in the league, I believe the last 4 seasons, Cat has led the league in offensive fouls. Like, I don't know what's up with him, man. Like, I honestly think, Chill, and I swear to you, we have probably the lowest IQ duo in NBA history. Like, these dudes, like, I be just watching the games, I'll be just like, what are y'all doing, man? This man Ant throwing the ball in the third row, Cat elbowing PJ Washington. Like, bro, what are you doing?
That was a dumb foul. That was that. Yeah. When he did that, I was trying to figure out what he was trying to do. I was trying to figure out because it was clearly an offensive foul.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, bro, just pass the ball.
Yeah, like what were you going with that? No, and maybe there were no avenues. Nobody was open. But what are you doing, B?
Yeah, just pass the ball.
You got your elbow out, baiting fouls, and you bow the dude right in the face. And then you complaining about it.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you guys have the worst IQ. I'm not gonna go that far, but
man, we do, Chill. We do. No, I've been watching this duo for a long time, man.
No,
we do.
Do you understand what the worst IQ is? Yeah, yes. That means y'all the dumbest team ever.
No, I don't know. We not the dumb. I just think
the dumbest team ever.
I think our 2-star players play like the dumbest duo ever.
How do you expect that? How do you expect Cat to? What do you expect in terms of Cat? His mistake making, right? Okay, I there's gonna be some mistakes. What kind of mistakes do you expect him to eliminate?
Man, just when you get the ball, just like, okay, so if you've been watching Cat, sometimes when he gets the ball, when he's driving in the lane, he'll use his forearm to shove somebody off. You cannot do that. They're going to call that every single time.
No, they're not, because Paul George does it all the time. Devin Booker does it all the time.
That's the whole thing.
Where they cuff the ball like a running back and basically push you off like this. Devin, I'm ready to snatch this TV off the wall when I see Devin Booker doing it. Because he looked like Derrick Henry. That's what he looked like.
But that's the whole thing, Chill. Cat does not get away with that. If you've been watching Cat as long as I've been watching Cat since he's been in the league, he always gets called for offensive foul. And then another foul. When he's driving in the lane and he just barrels into somebody.
He does do that.
They're gonna call that shit every single time. Like honestly, Chill, like I haven't seen somebody with a worse whistle than Cat. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
So how does he counter that? Should he have a better pull-up game? Is that what he should do?
I don't know what he should do. When he's been in the league down there a decade, you got to figure out something.
Right. So when he's going downhill, all right. So when he's going downhill, do I avoid? Do I avoid the offensive charge? Because again, I mean, Cat might be for all intents and purposes. Some people think he's soft, but he does go in and look for the contact. Now, barreling over people, that ain't exactly the smartest thing to do. But what it does is it creates a psychological advantage. Karl Malone used to do it all the time. Where he can get a foul just running over a guy. Right. Now you think twice about standing in that dude's way. You think twice about that. So I think the series is over tomorrow. But if Minnesota wins tomorrow, I ain't quick. I'm not so quick to write your boys off in Game 6.
Yeah, no, we got a chance for sure.
I'm not so quick to write y'all off. I'm not saying that it's not over. It's just if they win tomorrow, man.
My biggest concern is Derek Lively if he's coming back or not. Because I think if he plays tomorrow, I think the Mavericks win. But I think if he doesn't play tomorrow, I think we win and then we go back Game 6 and then it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Good to talk to you, Tim.
All
right, brother. What up?
Hello, can you hear me?
What up?
Chill. I guarantee you Milwaukee regrets trading Drew Holiday. I guarantee you they regret it now.
Oh, sure they do.
Like seeing him in the finals right now and seeing how they lost and Dame getting injured in round 1 and how we got him for peanuts. Yeah, they 100% regret it.
Sure they do. 100% they do. Because that crew, the linchpin was Middleton getting hurt. If Middleton doesn't get hurt, they win it again, I think. I had them winning it again the next year if Middleton hadn't gotten hurt. I thought they was going to win it again. And they had the formula with Middleton, Holiday, and Giannis. They were poised to make a run, a serious run. But Middleton broke down. And then you trade Drew Holiday for offense, and you don't get any of that defense back. None of it. Like I'm not gonna move. At least the Celtics, when they moved off for Robert Williams, they got some of that defense back with Kristaps. They got some of it. They didn't lose all of it. They still got and on the perimeter, they got a better version of Marcus Smart. They got Marcus Smart
You
set better.
switched out Marcus Smart for a better pair. That's literally it.
That's all they did. I got Marcus Smart set better. And
plus guys started to step up like Derek White and stuff. Yeah, things got a lot better for the C's. Chill. I honestly don't think we're gonna see the same Jason Tatum from 2022 because the Tatum from now isn't even the same guy from 2022. He's not.
I don't see the same. I'll see flashes sometimes of him, and I'll see him watching, and he's less aggressive. But I don't see. I see a different player than I saw a year ago. I see a different player than I saw 2 years ago. I don't see the same player that I saw 2 years ago. No, I don't.
Do you see him hang his head down like when shots aren't knocking down?
No, I don't see that. I don't. I see him more involved in other ways. Like before, he would move to the corner and he'd put his head down and he'd just go away from the basketball. I don't see that. And I see him get more involved in the game where if something's not going, all right, he'll become a better passer or he'll get on the glass. He'll stuff
start
like
screening.
That. Yeah, he'll do stuff like that as opposed to if I'm not scoring, I'm useless out here. And that's because he was 22 years old and for lack of a better term, I don't know shit. I don't know.
Plus, Golden State was a terrible matchup for them. They were veteran champions. Like had they gone against Dallas, that would have been a better matchup for them.
I think so.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
I still think that Jason Tatum wasn't there yet. I still don't think Jaylen Brown was there yet. I still don't think that this team was there yet. Where they
I
are
agree.
Today. I think they're in a different space today than where they are, than where they were.
I got one more question for you, Chill. What do you think about instead of Drew Holiday on Luka, Jaylen Brown on Luka?
Well, I know it's going to be the other way around. I know that for a fact. I know that they're going to hunt Luka with Jaylen Brown. And they're not just going to give Jaylen Brown the ball in the wing. But I do think that Jaylen Brown is going to have to, as much as Boston switches, Boston has heavy switch action. So Jaylen Brown is going to have to deal with Luka. 100% he is. Now the question
they're going to run a lot of. They're going to keep Luka in constant action defensively. They're going to make him fight through screens and stuff like that. Like they're going to do everything imaginable on offensively, like get Luka off of rhythm.
The $1 million question is Jaylen Brown smart enough as a basketball player? Is he smart enough to one, stay out of foul trouble, and two, not get into this back and forth with Luka and stay in his mode and play his game?
Oh, 100%.
As a ball player to do that. Because if he's smart enough as a ball player to do that, y'all got a chance.
Well, he's not very foul prone to begin with.
Right.
He don't really cause a lot of fouls. I don't think he's going to go and try to be like I'm going to try to go toe to toe with Luka Doncic, right? I think he's going to try to do everything imaginable for his team so they succeed. Right. I don't think he's that selfish.
Well, we're going to find out, brother.
For sure. You have a good one, Chill.
Out. What up?
You can hear me good, Chill?
Yup. What up?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's my first time up here. Obviously, the finals, it's not here yet. Dallas ain't won yet, but like when we're talking about Luka versus Celtics, how are we playing him in the pick and roll? Because he's gonna be in the pick and roll, right?
Yep.
Are we playing him in drop? Because when we play him in drop and we go over, he gets you in jail, and that creates problems all the time. So are we gonna trap him? Considering like Porzingis is back, I know you don't like switching. How do you think they're going to play that?
I think Boston's best defense is their offense against Luka. Put Luka in plenty of action. Make Luka guard. Luka wants to get back to the ball. You are good enough offensively where you can make it real hard on him. Make it real hard on him. And if you do that, I think that can counter what they do offensively. Now, I'm an advocate with Minnesota. I think the best course of action is to blitz him. Get the ball out of his hands. Yeah. Make Derek White, make PJ Washington make shots. Make Kyrie Irving make shots. Make Derek Jones Jr. make shots. Make Green, make them other dudes make shots.
Right.
Get the ball out of Luka's hands as much as possible. I don't care if you get it out of his hands 4 or 5 times. Make those other guys make shots. Just not him. Just not him. It has to be other people. And I feel like your best defense is your offense, man. Put Luka in action. Get Luka ass in action on the regular. And I don't mean, like I said to the previous guy, I don't just mean get him the ball, get Jaylen Brown the ball on the wing and let him go one-on-one. No. Make Luka guard. If they want to switch, go after Luka. We're going after that switch.
Right. And like another thing, I heard you talking about, the difference between Tatum now and in 22.
Yep.
But I heard you talking more about things like kind of like from a mental aspect. What about the things in terms of his mid-range game, his 3-point game in the post, like in terms of the game of like his skill, like how did he get better in like these past 2 years from where he was?
He's always been a mid-range guy. He was a mid-range guy coming into the league. He expanded his game and became a long ball shooter. And because he plays on this Boston Celtics team that is a heavy 3-point shooting team, because he plays on a heavy 3-point shooting team, he became more of a long ball shooter and went away from what he was always good at, which was the mid-range.
I agree.
And now the logic on him is well, he has to be more of a mid-range shooter. Well, he always was that. That's like saying Kyrie Irving, you got to be more of a driver. Well, Kyrie Irving always got to the bucket, but he just played on a team, and this is just an example of Kyrie Irving. He just played on a team where, they might have shot more threes, or they were more of a perimeter-oriented team, not getting downhill. And that's kind of where Kyrie Irving's game was. When in reality, Irv was always a guy who got to the rim and got downhill. That was always his game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, like me personally, like I would love, Jason Tatum, he's 6'9", 220, 225. I would love to see him in the post a lot more. I feel like when he gets there, he might not be aggressive enough, but I feel like he's 6'9", he can fade, he can bang, he's strong enough to bang. I just feel like I gotta see him down there more. How do you feel about that?
Of course. Well, I think this year, he's doubled his post touches.
Mm-hmm.
Not only his post touches, but his shot selection is doubled in the post this season than it did last year, and he's been more effective in the post too. And he's been way more effective in the post. And I think that works. I absolutely think that works. More than anything, Day, I just can't see the same dude that I saw 2 years ago. I can't.
Yeah.
I got to see somebody different. I have to.
Yeah, but if Jaylen Brown plays better than him, is that because Jason Tatum is the guy that he was in 22? Because I feel like Jason Tatum could still play awesome and way better than he played in 22, and Jaylen Brown,
right, in
a 7-game series could still play better than him, because it's a 7-game series. Anything can happen in that small sample size. I feel like, I feel like Jason Tatum, he doesn't have to do too much or do too little, especially with the team he's on, and especially having Jaylen Brown there, that he can afford to not be the most aggressive like all the time when he has Jaylen Brown with him to not sabotage his crew.
All right. And I the example that I gave was, James Worthy was awesome in the 87 playoffs. Magic improved mightily in the 86-87 season. He won the league MVP that year. Right? He won the league MVP that year. And because of that, nobody said that James Worthy was better than Magic. Nobody.
Right.
And that's not to say that James Worthy wasn't awesome, because he was. And that's not to say that Jaylen Brown isn't awesome, because he is. 100% he is. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to say Jaylen Brown completely outplayed Jason Tatum, or he outplays him, so that means he's better. Well, wait a minute. I'm not going that far. No, I'm not going to do that. No.
All right. All right. Appreciate you having me up here, Chip.
All right, brother. No problem.
All right,
no problem. So I'm looking forward to this. You know, tomorrow I'll be on playback tomorrow night. I'm going to do the Minnesota-Dallas game tomorrow night on playback. So I'm cool with that. Yep. I'm cool with that. Defenses are a lot better in the playoffs, Max. Just so we clear. Defenses are a lot better in the playoffs. So, all right, guys. It's about that time for me. It's good to see you dudes. And I'm doing playback tomorrow. I will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Call your mother. I'll see you guys soon, man. Until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely. It's good. It's good to see you guys tonight. 100%.